What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. This is your other guy, CJ Talks Film, aka Mr. Christian Jones. CJ Talks Movies. Let's get on right with the review. We are my first review of the year. We are reviewing the Saw spin-off movie, Spiral. Now, Spiral is a story that kind of takes place within the Saw universe. It takes place many years after John Kramer's passing. It involves a detective played by Chris Rock who is investigating all these Saw-like murders, the Jigsaw murders, and apparently there is a potential copycat, no, an actual copycat who is trying to replicate the invention of the Saw traps, of the Jigsaw's way of thinking. And now Chris Rock, it is up to him to figure out these investigative murders while trying to save the town. Now, first things first, I did not grow up watching the Saw movies. I only saw the first one, and I really liked it. I thought it was a grisly, fun, spy-like cop thriller. And that's the thing about this movie. Don't go into this movie thinking you're going to get a horror movie. You know, this isn't what I would call a torture porn. There are some good torturous scenes, but it's not necessarily as violent as some of the other traps in the previous Saw movies. This plays more like a detective thriller. And I really like that aspect of it. I really thought the whole thing with Chris Rock and these conspiracy theories that he has with these other police officers, the whole backstory between him and his father, Samuel L. Jackson, who's also really good in this movie. I really like that aspect of the film. And I thought about the hidden mystery on who is this Jigsaw copycat. Kind of found it obvious after a good quarter, maybe 2/3 of the movie. So the twist ending not nearly as good as the first Saw, but again, it's a fun, grisly cop thriller. You could enjoy it if you're watching it on like a Netflix or a Hulu, HBO Max, or whatever. It's a lot of fun in that way. Seeing it in theaters, again, I was kind of puzzled with some of the choices that they made throughout the movie. I totally understood the conspiracy theories that Chris Rock had against the other police officers, that he can't trust any of them. That part I liked a lot. But this whole relationship between Chris Rock and who ultimately is the mastermind behind this, kind of find it completely obvious. I liked it for what it was, but kind of saw it a mile away. Let's get on with some of the performances. Chris Rock is phenomenal. He's really good in this movie. I especially loved him in the first opening act of the movie, where spoiler alert, because the movie has been out for a while. Gonna get into some spoiler talk, so if you want to skip this video, if you want to skip this portion of the video, just go right ahead. So, spoiler alert from here on out. In the opening act, when he's mimicking a gangster, he's kind of like fitting in with this whole gang squad, trying to crack them down. And I really thought that was funny, how over the top and charismatic he was. I'm like, this is how we're gonna start the movie. This is how we're gonna start this movie. Like, really? And then it plays on, and you see that he's just totally just being a mastermind detective. I really like that aspect of it. Then him getting paired with this young kid, new to the police force, is really, Chris Rock is really just kind of almost forced to team up with this guy. and you're like, okay, cool. I kind of like this guy. But then as soon as the murder starts happening, he was one of my first prime suspects. And then they fake his death, and I'm like, wait a minute. If it's not him, who exactly it is? Because then later on in the film, as all these cops are being murdered, again in this jigsaw type fashion, you're really just starting to think, okay, whoever is behind this has got to be working within the police force. And that's ultimately what it was. They target first they target this old police officer that Chris Rock's character was friends with. Then they went after really this kind of scumbag detective who you really seem to hate this guy almost right away. This guy cannot be trusted at all. And then the head of the table gets suffocated, and you're like, wow, so who in the world is behind this? And then you find out right away that it's his partner, who wanted to get back at the cops that not only did Chris Rock wrong, but he winds up targeting the guy that killed his father, because Chris Rock's partner has been plotting this whole thing since he was a child. And so, like I said, that part of the movie I really kind of saw coming a mile away. But the thing that I really like most about this movie is that the way that I am a big fan of scores, and I absolutely love the final theme for all the Saw movies, and the way that they use the score towards the final act of this movie. I really enjoy Samuel L. Jackson's character, for the time he's in it, is great. Him and Chris Rock's chemistry is through the roof, and it sucks that Samuel L. Jackson was only in it for about 10 minutes, if that, maybe closer to 5 minutes if I'm being honest. So, like I said, this is a fun, grisly cop thriller. It's very brutal. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind seeing this again. If you're a fan of the first Saw movie, go see it, because I really think you'll get a kick out of it. But if you're not a huge fan of these kind of grisly, over-the-top cop thrillers, then you probably should skip it. As far as the score goes, I'm going to give this movie a fresh review. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Again, couple of minor problems with it. Again, the twist I kind of saw coming a mile away. The traps and death scenes were a lot of fun. Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson literally carried this movie, and yeah, I just thought it was a decent, fun, grisly cop thriller. But anyways, that's going to be the review of Spiral. Everyone, leave me your comments. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please like, subscribe, click the thumbs up button. I'm going to be doing a lot more movie reviews as we're heading towards the summer season. I'm going to be doing a marathon. I'm going to be doing a review marathon of all the MCU movies leading up to the release of Black Widow. Also, I'm going to be reviewing all the Marvel Disney Plus shows from WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, as well as the Loki miniseries. Again, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. This is CJ Talks Movies. I'm Christian Jones, and I'll see you guys next time.